Good evening from Sugar House in Utah. Today is Wednesday, February 21st, 2024. It is 5:20 p.m. Mountain Time and 41 degrees. Now this can be considered Salt Lake City. It's just a neighborhood extension of Salt Lake City. And I've heard about it for a while. Like a lot of people talking about how Sugar House is a vibrant neighborhood in the town. And I looked online and it said Sugar House earned its name from sugar beets first planted here by pioneer settlers a century and a half ago. And it's sprouted into one of the most offbeat, colorful, progressive enclaves in the valley. You'll find plenty of restaurants, bars, breweries, shops, unexpected hangouts, and one big glorious park with sweeping mountain views. Now, you can see right here I'm starting this walk outside of Brugger's Belgian Bistro. Looks like a nice little place. One of the challenges of why I haven't filmed Sugar House in the past is anytime I've never actually been in the area, but anytime I look at Google Maps, it's hard to find like one distinct spot where it like starts. And I even looked on like some message boards about outsiders who aren't in Sugar House, and they commented similar things like, oh, why does everyone rave about Sugar House? It just seems like, a lot of people seem to really rave about it, but they were pointing out that it seems like a normal neighborhood area. What was above and beyond about it, you can see right here outside of the Patagonian outlet, we've got a nice mural of rock climbing on the wall. I think it's just going to be a healthy mix of local shops, big business shops, and maybe some artwork. But we'll venture around. I'm sure I'm going to miss some stuff because I'm not going to be able to cover everything. As far as the vicinity of this goes to Salt Lake City, if you're familiar with Liberty Park, it's not too far away from there. In fact, the crepes place that we love going to, and I've included in several of my Utah videos below, is like right on the border, maybe 1 block away of where Google Maps would consider Sugar House. Although the Sugar House website points out the crepes place as one of the hot places to go for lunch in Sugar House. So there's different areas. You can see over there's a Sugar House Center shopping plaza. There's a veterinarian shop, GameStop, Cinemark. That's like a small looking Cinemark. Cafe Zupas. Over here on our left we've got another mural of a dog and a bicycle rider. So I pressed the button, but the light did not change for us to go. Unfamiliar traffic spot. Normally I would go. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just broken, so I'm gonna give it a go here, because there's no like left turn only or right turn only arrows there. Art for Hope. Looks like you've got some artwork on display here. And over there again in the shopping plaza, you can see the UPS store, a place called Farm Kitchen. And then further on up ahead, the next place over there would be Whole Foods Market. There's a sign here indicating Parley's Trail or the Highland Drive. Makes it seem like it's a bicycle trail. You can also see there's some construction of probably apartment buildings going up. And I think we're going to have to cross the street soon because the construction at this next property is closed off the sidewalk area. And you may be wondering, like, why am I walking over here and not the shopping plaza? Assuming I have time, I'm going to try to walk through the shopping plaza, but the reason I'm going this way is because I think at the next block or two there's supposed to be some historical markers in some of the local shops. And I'll go ahead and pause the video so you're not watching me stand here at the intersection. Alright, time for us to walk. I wonder what Farm Kitchen is, unless, yeah, Farm Kitchen and this place on the corner, Sundance Catalog Outlet. Looks like there's some hats and clothing attire in the window, but I can't tell exactly what. And beyond the Whole Foods market over there, you can see there's a Bed Bath & Beyond. Way that direction, you can see the mountains. If we make it to Sugar House Park later, we should get better views of the mountain areas. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, Bed Bath & Beyond, I just said, that's the place that... Didn't they all go out of business, or are they still in operation? You can see over there coming up on the left, you've got the apartments on all the top levels, but the lower level is filled with businesses like Buffalo Wild Wings, a place called Curry's, there's a Cold Stone Creamery. So I imagine all this new development is going to be very similar to that. And that type of stuff I could definitely see enhancing the neighborhood. I mean, think about it, you've got all those people living up above, you just hop downstairs and you can have a nice little strip mall to walk through. Cubby says salads, sandwiches, soups, burgers, fries, shakes, and desserts. Cubby's is moving. Don't worry, not far. Oh, okay. So I guess one of the business areas is moving. Raymond, Legend, Wells Fargo, something called The View, V-U-E, at Sugar House. And over here on the right, you see it says the City Library Sprague Branch. I'm not boned up on my history enough to know what the significance of the V replacing the U is. Like, see public library up there. Yeah, so outside the library, nice life-size artwork of a beet, or more larger than life-size artwork of a beet. That's one of the things I was hoping for when I was coming across this neighborhood. I was like, oh, I hope I find some artwork or sculptures, because I always get a kick out of those things, both for the little bit of history knowledge, the photography aspect to post to social media, etc. You can see we've got a Men's Warehouse on the right side here. And this bus shelter is very new looking for the 220 line, as well as the big apron for people to wait, although maybe a car drove up on the apron, I don't know. That tree right there is knocked over. Okay, and we are going to start off a little bit on the left side here, and this is one of the monuments and reasons I came this direction. Let's see here, is there a symbol to press, or button to press? No. Let's go this way. There's the Wasatch Brew Pub. This is the corner of Highland Drive and 2700 South Street. You can see a fish there. I don't know if that's in relation to the brew pub or just in general, because there's more fish over here. I'm going to try to walk initially closer to the building here because that sunlight is in the way. This way when I'm doing my video, the sun's being blocked out. But you have a monument right here. I'm going to try to go up close to it and read what it's all about. But between that monument and that like star-shaped thing up there and kind of this block, when I looked at Google Maps earlier, this is the area where I thought, okay, I kind of could see this being like a central point, like something, very distinct in the area. Let's read what the monument actually says. It says, "To the founders of a pioneer industry, as a tribute to the heroic efforts of Brigham Young, John Taylor, Philip de la Mare, Elias Morris, Abraham Smoot, and others who here laid the foundation of the beet sugar industry in the West, from which event this immediate industrial and business center derives its name, this monument is erected." Okay, so this monument is supposed to be in honor of the people who made this area and all the beets. I assume that's what they're carrying. Just taking some photographs. Let's get one to the other side. Unfortunately, it looks to be a little bit of graffiti on them. You can see another bus stop here, 21, going to the University of Utah. Over on our left side, it says open daily, 11:30 a.m. to close. Pizza Volta. I think it says Volta. Cursive sometimes is challenging to read. And then down here it says, I think one of the letters is missing. Parley's, we'll guess. Parley's Creek and Jordan Salt Lake Canal. Maybe that runs underneath here. A splash pad, so I guess this is a splash pad at certain times of the year. Down that way there's a few more shops. And I'm not going to walk too far. Oh, before I do that, they do have a sign here that talks about the Jordan and Salt Lake City Canal. I'm going to guess this circle is where we currently are. I don't know. No, because there's a circle here. I was just trying to find out if there was a... Forgive me, I'm not the best with the street names, but we'll just know that this is in the general area. I have done the Jordan River Bikeway before. But yeah, I'm going to walk about a block or two this way and then turn around and start going back the other direction. There's a locally sourced clothing shop there, Makeshift and VBC, also Hopkins Brewing Company. And as I keep walking, there's more and more of these fish. Maybe that's in relation to the canal. Couple more fishies over here. Alright, so I can see why people like this area. Now granted, keep in mind, I am walking this area on a Wednesday, just shy of, I guess it's evening time, but it's a Wednesday, it's still cold out. I would venture to guess that if this was a Friday, Friday or Saturday evening, you would see a lot more action going on. There's a Silverside Deli over there, Smash Burger, T-Mobile. Can't see what else is quite down there. Something that says coming soon. And more recent looking properties. Yeah, I can definitely see how this area is walkable. More of your fish. We actually have a sign down on this one. Maybe I missed them on earlier ones. Title, Bonneville Reliquary. Talks about the Bonneville cutthroat trout. Derives its name from the ancient Lake Bonneville. So these things are cutthroat, huh? And over on your left you have a small parking lot for these businesses. Another pizza place, Mod Pizza, FedEx office, and then get a little bit further down. I think the building structure changes a little bit. You're not going to have the same modern looking buildings. And again, I am certainly not covering everything that I'm sure is great about the Sugar House area, especially like hidden gems or businesses that can thrive or do thrive. Let's see if these cars will stop. You can see right here there's a Millie's Burgers, although it says we are closed due to plumbing issues, hoping to reopen February 23rd. That's a shame, because this is exactly the type of place I'd love to try out. Bacon burgers, fresh cut fries, glaciers, shakes, and malts. But the idea of today's walk is two purposes. For me to sort of lightly scout the Sugar House neighborhood and share my experience on Poco Traveler. See a Chipotle here with the old school vibe to it. I call it old school vibe, but by that I'm talking about like the theater facade or marquee. But yeah, this video, so I can sort of get a, by the way, there's an art supplies shop here. Sort of get a little scouting of myself of how this neighborhood looks, and then it'll help paint a picture in my head next time when I do research and looking at Google Maps of maybe what else I can explore, let's say during the summer. Because I do prefer doing videos when like all the trees are grown, and maybe come back on a busier time of day. There's a place called Quarters Arcade Bar. You can see the windows are all tinted, but I could see people inside playing arcade games right now. There's a perspective of the monument from the other side of the street. One thing I don't like is a lot of these places, it's very hard to tell what the theme of them are, like craft by, it's a tap house, but like on this side of the street, the signage, like even this like Fiddler's Elbow Roadhouse, now serving breakfast. It's the signage and clarity of what actually is in the places doesn't jump out at you. The other side of the street, granted it's more modern, but you can tell right away what everything is. And it doesn't have to be modern buildings. It's more of the lack of signage and how tinted the windows are. See a Barnes and Noble booksellers on the corner there. Even though there's construction going on in the street, let me do a little peek down off of the main street, because just from turning my head toward the left here, the vibe of some of these buildings look like nice little local businesses. You can see the traffic is only going eastbound through fall 2024. You can see here's the soup kitchen, an antique looking shop. Oh, it's two different places, antique shop and the soup kitchen. And then across the street, Village Interior Decorations and Central Book Exchange. The soup kitchen could be a place they'd like to try out. A little local establishment, not too busy. You can see here this parking lot on the left of me, which I won't show because of the sun glare blinding, but it said 2-hour parking for Sugar House businesses. Gas station here, laundromat on the next block, and appears to be some other I think automotive location. United States Post Office for the Sugar House neighborhood. And let's cross back over and start heading back to the main road. BIFG, Boxing for Girls. Over there on the left you've got a Sugar House coffee, and then this mural here seems to be depicting Sugar House circa 1940. So that's see, if I would have never walked down the street, I wouldn't have come across that little gem there. Very intriguing too, because I've never seen like a gray, or rarely seen a gray or black and white type mural that really pops and stands out. You could see the monument that we saw earlier there too. Very tiny. Oh no, it's got two locations here. Look at all these old style globes. Like that one, you want that there? It's a $42 globe. And then you've got the used book exchange. Always fun to see used bookstores. They're open till 7 o'clock. And this is a plumbing location, and then there's a custom upholstering spot. We're getting back to 2100 South now. Trying to debate. I think I want to cross over to the other side of the street and maybe walk through the main shopping area before I go towards Sugar House Park. A little vintage, well, it says shop vintage clothing store there, parking in the back, an artistic frame company, all about coins. There's the 21 bus going to the University of Utah. So there's a portion of the shopping plaza. Let's see here. Let's duck in here. See the parking lot portion of Barnes and Noble. They've got even more established places like J. Crew and Old Navy over there. I think over here is the back side of the library, so they have some picnic benches and other spots that you can rest at on their patio. Be curious if I can find it. I think it might be like around here too. I think there's a bike trail or bike trail connector that goes alongside a portion of this area. I actually think the bike trail starts at the next, maybe the next portion of this. There's the Bed Bath & Beyond and Petco. Let's cross here. Maybe I can get through here. Something smells good right around here. I mean, is it Yellowfin? That's the only food place that I think is immediately nearby. Here we go. This is where some of the nature begins. Oh, there's another one of those beets, or a couple of the beets over here. Alright, now we're starting to see why some of the cooler spots. Imagine this during the spring, summer, or fall time when the trees are all green, and I don't know if the water gets blue here. Right now it's a little bit murky. But here's another shot of those beets. You got one beet that has the leaves up top and the other one's sort of shriveled. By the way, this building here is an Athleta clothing store. So over there where that person's walking, I think that might be a bike trail. And you can see here the sign says, "Welcome to Hidden Hollow Preserve." It says this beautiful preserve exists thanks to the vision and perseverance of local skilled children, dedicated leaders, and community support. In 2000, Salt Lake City permanently protected Hidden Hollow Preserve through a conservation easement to Utah Open Lands. Another sign that talks about Old Sugar House Park. 1913, as the Sugar House neighborhood grew, local businessmen sold this land to Salt Lake City to create a park. By 1929, this public park, called Sugar House Park, not to be confused with today's Sugar House Park, located further east, boasted a swimming pool with bathhouses, lighted tennis courts, baseball diamond, horseshoe courts, handicraft center, and playground. And in 1940s, the park fell into disuse. 1951, state prison closed, making room for Highland High School and a new Sugar House Park. And here's Hidden Hollow. Sorry, I'm trying to get a picture. A little signage here says, "Welcome to Hidden Hollow Natural Area." Probably hard to see that with the glare. In the middle of the city. Feel free to explore and wander around, but please stay on the paths and boardwalks to protect the soils, etc. Yeah, so again, I'm not 100% clear where the bike paths are. I'm thinking maybe it's like these paths. You can see there's multiple ones to go around. What I want to do is kind of just pick this middle one, at least for now, because I don't think once we pick one that you're completely lost from getting to the other paths. I think it's going to be a relatively short span. Parley's Creek, Ribbon of Life. When you turn on a tap in Salt Lake City and clean, fresh water pours out, you can thank Parley's Creek, one of our city's sources for drinking water. Okay, not to be critical. That's not the best peace of mind to think of drinking water and look at the brown water. Now, of course, I know it's all got to be filtered and stuff. You got a little bench here. You can sit near the water. Back there's like a Vietnamese restaurant. Following the flow, you're standing next to a stream gauging station, and this wooden box holds the brains of the operation. Every 3 minutes, it measures and reports the height of the water in Parley's Creek. This is used to calculate the amount of water flowing in the stream. Flow can change day to day. So the technology there, and it also says warning high water. So you can imagine that there probably are certain times of the year where this floods a bit. So we can at least say that portion's probably not the bike trail because there's stairs that go along it. But see, there's like, you could have taken that path, this middle path. That path that I was speculating was a bike path, joins up here and continues over there. And this is just a small portion. I think eventually, I keep walking this way, we're going to get to the new Sugar House Park, which funny enough probably, I'm just gonna guess, doesn't really look special per se. I think it's just gonna be what you would expect a normal city park to look like. A little area here for, not sure what, maybe you could hold a little event. Pinyon Juniper Community Demonstration Naturescape. You're standing amid a sampling of one of the most widespread natural communities in the Southwest, the Pinyon Juniper Woodland. So maybe during different times of the years, you'll have those type of things growing on there. Alright, so now the path is going to circle over here. I'm going to try to reference Google Maps myself for a second to gauge where alright, well it does show the green bike lane here in the Parley's Trail. But well, actually I think Parley's Trail is this way. Yeah, so even though it's kind of confusing, the green is there indicating bike, but we're gonna go this way. Sorry, I know sometimes I just randomly stop, and that's when I'm taking more pictures of the beets. I like that they have a theme of those beets throughout the area. At first I was just thinking it was going to be the library only. You can see how spread out it is. Wasatch Foothill Community Naturescape, just talking about the plant community that grows here. Ty's Garden in memory of the life and work of Dr. Ty Harrison. Whoa, look at this. I've never seen something like this in like a little park area where it's not, you know, actually up to a Red Rock Mountain, so to speak. I'm trying to see if there was a sign that depicted this or described this. This was one of the cool things that I was able to scout. By the way, look at like the hollowness in some of that. Oh, it doesn't really go that deep. It's like a foot in, and then it's solid again. But yeah, one of the cool things I remember seeing, I didn't see this part, but that if you were riding the bike trail that circles Sugar House Park up ahead, is that you could then take this underground tunnel over to like the business district area. All right, take back what I said about the park not being special. Look at this view right here. The red rocks and then that breathtaking view of the mountains. Give me a second while I snap some photos here. Alright, done snapping my pictures, so even on this little part on the left here. Again, just imagine it being a nice spring summer day. I don't know about the bugs because for all I know there could be a ton of bumblebees here, but imagine grabbing a bite to eat. I see someone got a 7-Eleven pizza and littered it there, but grabbing a bite to eat. Probably wouldn't sit there, but maybe sit here and just enjoying the nice view. And I think it looks, if I'm going to guess, cooler from down here. But when I get a little bit up, I think the point I was trying to make earlier was that the park itself is just going to be like open green space. And you can see once you get out of that area, you're right back to like the business. Because if I just showed this right here, you'd be like, oh, you wouldn't think anything of it. But then all of a sudden, even this doesn't look quite as, you know, impressive or special. I don't want to walk up on the grass right now because it did rain recently, so the immediate ground here is heavily saturated. But if you're a bike enthusiast in the neighborhood, you can walk this trail, and then there is a big body of water down here. Let's try to get over to that. I'm not going to walk the full depths of the park, but I think it should give enough of a perspective. The bike trail keeps going like around the perimeter of the whole park. Well, let's get a closer look at the water. So you can see right here, I always think back to Central Park. You got the car lane, bicycle lane, walker and jogger lane. So if you want to keep going around the park, you can do the main road here as well. Nice reflection in the water. I can't speak with certainty on whether how much more attractions there are in Sugar House Park. It does extend quite a bit, meaning it is a very big body of land. For example, let me give you a perspective here. So on Google Maps, you can see where that blue dot is where we just entered Sugar House Park. And imagine all the green that continues on to the right side. So we're only about, I don't know, 1/8 of the way into it. And it keeps on going, and the creek continues going down here. I don't know, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call that all of Sugar House Park, but there's also Highland High School over there. But if I zoom in a little bit more, it talks about the Sugar House Garden Center, Pavilion. I think most of it is probably just open green grass and getting a nice workout in and appreciating the views. But since it's getting darker and I don't want the footage to end up being too dark, I think I'm going to wrap up our little preview of Sugar House here. I'm intrigued by what I saw, so now I'm going to be able to do more research, paint a picture in my head, maybe even bring a bicycle one time during the spring, summer season, scope out some places to eat and actually visit and shoot some video in there and make it more of a comprehensive video. But if you enjoyed this little taste of Sugar House in Utah and the neighborhood vibe of it, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to tell us in the comment section, because I have a feeling there's going to be former and current Sugar House residents who view this. Tell me some recommendations so that next time I'm here we can make an even better video, and we will see you next time. One other little note, they do have a green bike station. I've advocated that in the past, the Salt Lake City green bike system. There's a station right here. That park that I cut through earlier, the old Sugar House Park, is right there. And then you just keep on walking toward the rest of the business area. And one more big thing I guess I should mention. So I started the video over there. That's where that Bruegger's Belgian place was, and Sugar House Center was here. So I guess further on down there's a Target and a Nordstrom rack. So if you kept on going that way, two pretty big stores to note of.